Hello from Animal Kingdom.
Yes, cast preview.
Yes, so it's been months since we've been to a Disney park, and the cast previews are happening. Disney opens in a few days, and it feels so good to be back at our favorite park. Of course, we walked into like a torrential downpour.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So already soaked.
Yeah, my
already
hair was
have
straight, but now it's ugly.
Not so straight, no. So yeah, I mean, based on how yesterday went, so we waited to the second day previews to kind of like see how it would go yesterday, and it seemed like all the lines were pretty short from what we saw, and it looks like today they are, yeah. So I think like Flight of Passage is a 5-minute wait, for example.
Yeah.
So I think their capacity is pretty low, which is nice. And we'll see if that continues into opening. I don't know like what the capacity is today. They haven't said what the capacity will be on Saturday, but it'll be interesting to kind of see how it goes today. So I'm excited to see kind of how Disney is doing the reopening procedures and how it compares to the other parks. So far it's been really good. They had new security.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so it was like a contactless bag scanner, and I kind of quickly filmed it on my GoPro, but it was in the middle of pouring. But I'll try to put that footage in right now. Here's a look at the new security entrance here at the entrance of Animal Kingdom. And they've actually put in these brand new security checkpoints that we actually saw at Disney Springs a while ago, where it's a contactless bag check. So you just walk right between the sensors here, and you don't have to take anything out of your bag. They don't have to look in your bag. So it's a really nice way to have security right now when people are not wanting security guards to put their hands in their stuff. So yeah, it was really nice to have new security. That definitely was way easier to just be able to walk through without taking your bag down or having to open it. But yeah, now we're gonna go do something in the park. I don't know what. And I think it is supposed to rain off and on, so I don't know how much we'll be able to film walking around. But whenever it stops raining, I'll try to pull the camera out, and we'll see how it goes. We have officially made it back to Pandora, and the park is absolutely dead. But I did want to show over here by the entrance of the land, they already have distancing markers, and they go all the way down, so they definitely look like they're for Flight of Passage. So maybe they're expecting that when the park opens fully, or maybe once it hits a higher capacity, that the line could come all the way out to the entrance of the land, which is intense.
Well, I know these are for photo pass.
Yeah, they usually have a photo pass like right here in this corner with like the mountains behind you. So yeah, that's probably for photo pass, or just for families taking pictures here in the corner, because it's the best view of the mountains. So now I'm over by the bathrooms by Navi River Journey, and just to give an idea of the crowds. Navi River Journey is a 10-minute wait. And I also just ran to the bathroom, and they had the door open, propped open, which is nice, and I'll be able to touch it. And it was very, very clean in there. It's a very wet day here in Pandora.
It kind of adds to the theming, right?
Yeah, it kind of feels right. But we're in line for Navi River, which said it was 10 minutes, and oh, it's such a long line. I think it's maybe 3 people in line in front of us.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
But they have the distancing markers throughout the entire queue. I will say that we have seen like extremely high compliance so far as masks and distancing.
These people like mean business.
Oh yeah, the cast members are not messing around, which is good. I mean, they shouldn't be.
They are on it.
Yeah, so we'll see how that like translates into the park opening. Oh, got some plexiglass now between the lines to keep guests separate, which is good to see. We haven't seen that in any other parks. But yeah, so it's also important to note that it is cast member previews today, so I would hope that most of the guests here today would be complying, but I'm excited to see how the pass holder previews go and see how it continues throughout the week until park opening. Alright, so we're in the standby queue. I don't know when the last time was that we were in standby for this ride.
I don't remember.
And I certainly have never been in this line where we just never stop walking.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, this a literal definition of a walk-on.
And all the plexiglass is
Intense.
yeah, it's everywhere. The other thing that I noticed that I can't say I've seen at Universal or SeaWorld is that there was a cast member like in the queue.
Oh yeah.
So they must be like making sure guests keep their masks on in the queue, which is the one thing that I've noticed at the other two parks, that Universal and SeaWorld have been doing pretty good about telling guests to put them on if they're not wearing them properly, but if they're not in the queue, they can't see it. So I do really like that they have them stationed in the queue here, and that's definitely a huge improvement that I've noticed so far. And the plexiglass we haven't seen in other parks either, so that's also a nice addition.
I think other parks should put plexiglass. I mean, probably.
It's a lot of plexiglass, but yeah. But I mean, it definitely keeps guests safer, so that's good. And we have yet to stop walking. Never walked by the Avatar without a line before, and they're not even using most of the lab. Crazy. And we're basically like on the ride already. And we have noticed that they're not really using a lot of like the weaving areas because that's probably like tough to distance through, and now we're going right up into the line for our link chamber. Just got directed into a line that has 0 people in it. It's like really weird, but they also have the plexiglass going up here. I mean, they really made sure it is everywhere. Alright, so we're now in Harambe. Hopefully this gives us an idea of how empty the park is.
Very empty.
Especially after walking on the Flight of Passage. We did eat at Satuli. Yeah, Satuli we waited a really long time to get our food. But it looks like how they're now doing counter service is you have to mobile order. At least today you had to mobile order. And then they weren't letting you into the restaurant until your food was ready to pick up. And that was so that they could limit, I guess, how many people were like waiting inside.
Yeah.
And that there were enough tables available for everyone. So we did wait a while, and it was kind of drizzling, but at least it hasn't like poured like it did when we got here. And the food was the same that we always get, so it was really good, but I know we've shown that before, so I didn't film our food. But I think we're gonna do safari now, which is once again a 5-minute wait. So really gonna be hard to not get used to walking onto everything, which has been really nice. You can hear the announcement being made by the voice of the monorail for the safety announcement, but we also see dividers that have been put up in the loading area here and in between every row of the safari truck. So very spaced out from other guests. We've continuously seen very low crowds yet again. I didn't film much of the safari, but I did want to quickly show at the end of that, the little clip I just put in was cast members sanitizing the safari vehicles. Yeah, you have to sit for a bit to get off. Yeah.
Because they're just sanitizing the truck before.
And they're wiping down all the rows, the like support beams, I guess, that people may grab onto. Yeah, it's a math team. Thank you. So yeah, and they were sanitizing the dividers between the rows. So yeah, they sanitized every part of that truck, which was, it did make you wait a little bit longer, but it's really important that they're doing that. So that was impressive. And I have no idea if they do that after every single time or if they do it after like a certain amount of time, but they were at least doing it while we waited. Oh, but I'm just so happy to be seeing the Tree of Life again.
Yeah.
And who knows when we'll see it again. We probably won't be at Disney much for the next few months, especially because of someone being blocked out, but it's probably for the best. I mean, we weren't trying to go all the time anyway, but we had to take advantage of coming right now when Amanda was able to get in. Plus, we probably assumed this would be like one of the lightest days crowd-wise, and we have seen, I think for the most part, like 100% compliance. It's been very empty, so we've had no issue distancing.
I do feel like the cast members are like out to call people.
Oh, they are so on it today. Which again, like I know we've seen when we've been to Universal and SeaWorld, like they've been doing pretty good, but I will say like I feel like as far as like cast member enforcement, it's been like the most prevalent here out of the parks we've been to so far. So they've been doing a really good job of that. I also read yesterday during the first day previews that they were letting people take their masks off on the safari, but they did not offer that today. Yeah. So maybe that was just like something they tested and then they decided it wasn't smart to have guests do that. So that wasn't something they were doing today. Oh, yeah, so here is a spot where you can take your mask off. They have a couple of those around the park. And we've seen that over at Universal and SeaWorld too. So they're called relaxation zones here. And if you want to take your mask off, there are spots to do that. Or of course, whenever you have to eat in the park as well. So now we're gonna head over to Expedition Everest, which I'm assuming is gonna be a 5-minute wait if it's been anything like every other ride in the park. And I do have a new GoPro that I want to test filming. I was going to try using it on Navi River, but I don't think it did very well in low light. And an empty train just went by on Everest, so I think we won't have a long wait.
Oh, there's one of those washing ones.
Oh yeah, a little portable sink. But yeah, so I'm gonna try GoPro. I used my old GoPro at SeaWorld the first time we went, and it worked pretty well, but now I have a newer one, so hopefully it's a bit more stable. And I figured Everest is a good ride to test it on. So we're leaving Dino Land, and we have discovered one of the character boats that now patrol the park for distance meet and greets. So we've got Timon playing some music on his boat. Such a fun way to do meet and greets, and they have several different boats. One has like Mickey and Minnie. They have Dino Bash ones with Donald or Chip and Dale. So keep an eye on the waters here at Animal Kingdom, and you may spy some characters. Here's a little tree of life appreciation, since there's no crows here, as well as some kangaroos.
This is the first time I've ever seen them.
I've seen them before, but I feel like they're not out very often.
Oh my god.
Yeah, kangaroo in front of the tree of life.
It's real.
It is real. And also to give an update on the crowd level here. Nobody in front of the tree of life. I mean, we just were able to take pictures with like nobody around, nobody waiting on us, nobody in the way. It was kind of great. Now they have Discovery Trading Company open but you have to go like to the far end of the store over by Flame Tree to go in. And Island Mercantile is not open at this time. Now I don't know if that'll change and they'll open both this weekend, but at least as of today, just Discovery Trading's open in the front. So we came back on the Discovery Island Trail, and there's different animals back here. So it says there's a porcupine. Oh yeah, it's back in the cave. So you can find animals back here. I think there's turtles back here as well, and something over there. But also, like, it's so, like Amanda was just saying, it's so peaceful back here, and there's not a single other person. It's like over there is the walkway between Harambe and Asia, so we're like across the water from that. And it's also a really cool view of the tree, so we like to come back here a lot to take pictures because it's the best park icon.
Yes, we have to take pictures right now.
That is going to happen. Alright, so we were standing here taking pictures and we randomly heard I'm Walking on Sunshine playing. So clearly hearing random music is a good indication that a character boat's coming. So it looks like Donald, Daisy, and Launchpad are here. And they're very loudly playing some music. But it's a good way to know when they're coming. Launchpad!
Explorers, say hello to Donald and his friends.
I love
they
you,
return
Launchpad.
from their sail down the Discovery River.
Oh yeah, Launchpad. That's awesome. I love that they're like Dino Bash themed boats also. Alright, so we just kind of wandered around for a bit. We got Starbucks because we were really thirsty and kind of sat down by the Harambe market. We were the only people sitting in there, so more than easy to distance, but we just wanted to kind of like show how empty the park is. Now it is half an hour before closing because Animal Kingdom's park hours now end at 6 p.m., at least for the time being. The parks do tend to open or close later now, except for Epcot, which is still 9 p.m. But like there's not a single person in Harambe, which is wild. I think we're gonna head over to Pandora and maybe try to ride Flight of Passage again, because when else are we gonna find it with no wait? But yeah, I would say in general there were extremely low crowds, but now like there's nobody in the park. Back in Pandora. Not a single person in sight. Oh, there's one. Two. We're not alone. But it's kind of ridiculous how empty it is. And I'm going to assume there won't be a long line for Flight of Passage with 15 minutes until closing. But I guess we're going to find out. So we've definitely found other people. I wouldn't call it many people, but there's some. Like over by Fatuli in the gift shop. But it's still a 5-minute wait for Flight of Passage. Oh yes, an aerial overview of an empty Pandora. Also, I want to zoom in on, most people don't notice these like hanging creatures inside the little part of the cave. Yeah, little creatures there on the mountain. Yes, it's a very, very empty Pandora. Time to ride Flight of Passage again. Alright, it is now after park closing.
Yes.
So we got in one more Flight of Passage ride.
Yes, just got off of that.
Yeah, and it was still a walk-on again.
Yeah, literally we didn't stop moving.
I don't think we waited for anything today. There was a little bit of a line for Everest, maybe?
Barely.
Like, and by a line, I mean like less than 5 minutes.
I think that we like stood in one spot for like maybe a minute, and then we kept moving.
Yeah. And I think that was because Everest, it seems like every other train they've been running empty, and I think that's probably for sanitizing.
Yeah.
Because we saw them cleaning a lot of vehicles today.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really good visit to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't know when we'll be back. Could be a few months from now, but eventually we may be back here, I'm hoping.
Hopefully.
But it was good to see how Disney's been handling all of their policies.
Yeah.
In general, I mean, it's pretty similar to what the other parks are doing, but there was definitely a lot of compliance today, more so than the other parks. And I don't know if that was just because of CAF, or if it's just they're doing a better job here. But at least, yeah.
But I do see like people are walking, like sitting and like taking their masks down, and I've seen like leaders and coordinators going around saying, please put your mask on, like every single time.
They were telling people like stand behind the plexiglass at stores. Like they've been really on it today. So I do think they were just doing a really good job of enforcing it as well. So hopefully all the openings go well. We will be back at Disney here and there. It's going to be pretty infrequent for us, but we have like the occasional hotel stay booked right now. So I think when we have hotels booked, that's when we're going to be in the park. So it won't be on like a regular basis by any means, but we'll have a little bit of Disney here and there. So we should hopefully be able to go to Magic Kingdom in a little bit and see the new castle since that got redone. But we definitely wanted to start with Animal Kingdom because it's our favorite.
Yeah.
And I was really glad we got to come today and get on everything, essentially as much as we wanted to ride it.
Yeah.
So it was great.
We got our own time rover.
One family per time rover, yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was very cool, and that's just kind of how that's the way things are right now, but it makes it safer to come to the theme park, so I'm not going to complain if I have to wait a little bit longer, but be able to have my own time rover, for example, so I'm not near other people, which is really great. So, great visit to Animal Kingdom. Really impressed by what we saw today. It was a really good day at the park, and we'll hopefully be at Magic Kingdom next, so keep an eye out for that video. Definitely subscribe to our channel and see our visit to Magic Kingdom, as well as our hotel stay at Grand Floridian. So that's where we're going to be next, and we've never filmed a video at Grand Floridian, so that'll be coming up soon.
I've never stayed there.
I have, but it's been a few years, so I'm excited.
I've only walked in for the gingerbread.
Yes, that was the last time I was there actually. It was two winters ago for gingerbread, but we'll be staying there. I'm very curious to kind of see how the resort is because it got changed a lot due to the NBA staying there. So we'll definitely probably have a video of Grand Floridian separate from Magic Kingdom, just showing how the NBA's changed the resort. And hopefully we'll have the monorail to get to the park, so that should hopefully be a little bit easier than parking at the Transportation Ticket Center right now.
So I do know that the monorails, like the resort monorail at least, wasn't running for
previews, but it should be by like opening day. It should start. And they are doing the monorail and the ferry from the TTC, but they're both distant, so it takes a lot longer. So one thing I would definitely say is if you're coming to the parks, be patient. Things do take longer, but that's just for everyone's safety. I wouldn't say that I would, like as a guest coming on vacation, this would probably not be the time I would come, just because things are different. So if you're coming...
I wouldn't say it would ruin the vacation, but it's just not, like, you have to be very aware of your surroundings and like...
So if you're coming for like your once-in-a-lifetime trip, like there's no character meet and greets.
Yeah, it's very different. Especially if it's like your first time coming, it's
not going to be how typical. But yeah, if you're local or if you wanted to come on like a short trip, it seems like they're doing everything they need to do to keep guests safe. Just be aware to be a little patient, and things are definitely different, but it's good to be back. And they have Monorail Dude announcing it again. But that is it from Animal Kingdom today. So definitely give this video a like, and we will see you guys next at Grand Floridian and Magic Kingdom. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys the next time we go to Disney and Beyond.